Namaskar. I am Shamik.
I am Bratati.
We are back with Incredible Indians,
Many faces, one India.
a YouTube series of India Tourism Kolkata, celebrating Ek Bharat Shreshth Bharat, initiative of Government of India. The series already had introduced the Indian ethnic communities of Orissa, Maharashtra, Jharkhand, Goa through previous videos. Today, we will unfold the stories of diverse indigenous ethnic communities of Tripura. Tripura is a hilly state of northeastern India and surrounded by our neighboring country, Bangladesh, on all sides, except a small part that adjoins Assam and Mizoram. Visiting the state capital Agartala or to Jampu Hill is quite common, but discovering little known ethnic communities living in tiny hamlets by the hill, valley and forest is quite rare. Let's share a personal fact. You know, I love to experience the life and culture of indigenous communities living in those tiny hamlets. Do you know what has made me interested to do so? It is a book about the contribution of the little known Indo-Mongoloids of northeastern India to the Indian culture and history. I am sure you are curious to know the title of the book. It is Kirat Jalakriti, written by Professor Shri Chatterjee, the great Indian linguist. And I read this book for the first time in my college days. The historical perspective of the state is quite interesting. Before merging with India in 1949, Tripura was a powerful kingdom and the oldest princely state of Indian subcontinent. Existence of the land was referred in Indian epic Mahabharata. Also, in the historical accounts of Yuan Shao, who was a great Chinese traveler, and Aini Akbari, and also mentioned in mythological stories. According to Indian mythology, Mayashura, the great ancient king of Asuras, constructed 3 citadels or cities. That is why 3 means 3 Pura citadels. One on the earth, one in the sky, one in the heaven for Asuras to live. The term Asura bears just opposite notion of Shura or Deva. And in Indo-Aryan literatures, Asuras are referred as non-Aryans. Thus, logically, Indo-Mongoloids of northeastern India, including those of Tripura, are non-Aryans. It is also believed that the word Tripura is derived from Boro term Tipra, where T means water and Pra means near. It validates the fact that during the heydays, Tripura kingdom was extended up to the Bay of Bengal. On my first visit to the land, I was mesmerized by seeing how one less than 10 million Suras are locked forever in the land of Asuras. You may think how it has happened. Let's share its story. Once, 10 million gods and goddesses, including Lord Shiva, on their way to Kashi, took a break at a place about 160 kilometers away from today's state capital, Agartala. Lord Shiva instructed the other group members to wake up and move out of the place before the dawn of the next day. but none of them could wake up in time. Lord Shiva then cursed them to turn into stone. Thus, one less than 10 million muted there as rock cut images forever. The place is called Unokoti then. More than a dozen of Indo-Mongoloid communities settled in Tripura. They are divided into three major groups: Boro, Kuki, Arakan group. Boro group consists of Tripuri, Jamatia, Riyan, Uchai, Noatias, Garos. Kuki group consists of Halam, Koloi, Kuki, Monson, Lusai. Arakan group consisting of Chakma and Mons. Only Orang or Orao are from Australian background. Boros migrated from northwestern China via Tibet. Kukis from Indo-Burma tract. Halams from the valleys of the Yangtze and Yolo river confluence of China. While Noatias, Hmong, Chakmas were from Arakan tract and Oraos from central plateau of India. Thus, animistic rituals and faiths like belief in spirits and existence of soul are still prevalent among them, although officially Tripuri and Chaimals are Hindu. Lusai, Kuki, Garos are predominantly Christian. Chakma and Hmong people are Buddhist. And synthesis of such diverse faces and cultural facets made India unique and united. Here lay the meaning of Ek Bharat. When so many different communities inhabit almost side by side, logically you may think how they communicate. For intergroup communication, they use either Bengali, Indo-Aryan language, or Kogborok, just opposite, Tibeto-Burman language. Although each community has a distinct language which they use within community members. Kogborok, Chakmas, Sadri language have script. Nowadays, Kogborok and Chakma use Bengali script for their writing.
Like language differences, they are distinguished by diverse village and housing pattern. Halams live in typical tonghor, made of bamboos and grass. 30 to 50 families of Orao live together in a village. Their houses are without windows and made of mud, grass and bamboos. Riyan, Tripuris, Jamatias, Uchais live in tom or tila houses on the hilltops. They live in a group of 8 to 10 families known as Para or Punji. A decade back in one tonghor, I met a humble and self-taught person. He was none other than Beni Chandra Jamatia, an octogenarian Kogborok writer and Padma Shri Award winner of 2020. He developed his writing skill out of reading newspaper wrappers and torn books all through night under the fickle light of oil lamp. During the day, he used to collect them from the local markets. So, to know all about the livelihood of these communities is always interesting. These communities majorly live on cultivation. But beside them, Chakmas are expert in petting wild elephants. Lusai are in hunting and Kashis in rearing cattle, and Oraos depends on wage earning by the dint of physical labor. Among them, Ryans are nomads and live on hilltop cultivation and food gathering. One interesting fact is that Jamatia were the major strength of Royal Army of Tripura once. But today there is no Royal Army and Jamatia soldier. The cultural diversity of Tripura is reflected in their food habits too. Rice and fish stew, meat roast, local herbs along with the bamboo shoots, and fermented fishes are most popular food among them. But having berma, which is actually a dried and fermented fish, is very common. Having a meal without drink is next to impossible to think. So, the fermented rice beer used for honoring the special guest on special occasion. Drinking of distilled varieties of alcohol is very common for them. Tripuris call them cha and Chakmas call them jugara. Watching them to dance in the tune of folk songs is mind-blowing experience. It touches the core of the heart. Garia, Lebam, Musak, Surmani, Tangbiti and Mamita bamboo dance, which is also known as Chirau bamboo dance, are performed with sweet folk songs accompanied by flute, sarinda and any other string instruments. When the new crops arrives in their granary, they celebrate the festival known as Wangla with colorful dance, songs and music. Its melodious sounds creates a blissful feeling in mind. In every community, girls' dressing is unique. It's always colorful. So here in these communities, the girls stylize themselves with silver ornaments and colorful dresses. Neotia women wear red half-sleeve shirt and decorate themselves with ornaments. Black and red long shawl-type cloth is worn to cover their lower body. The Mog women wear thabuin, ranji, rongai, ruma, polongi and poruma along with gold and silver jewelries. Colorful punchei is the dress of Lusai women during the festival time, but other time they wear the same dress with the shades of black and white. Kuki women wear a homemade piece of long cloth with artistic border which is wrapped around the body from the bust down to knees. It passes below the armpits and over the breast and tucked on the left side or may be adjusted by another piece of cloth by tying a knot on one side.
You may agree with me that most of the girls or women like colorful dresses. The men are not. The traditional dress of Neotia men is also simple thus. It includes mainly white t-shirt which is full sleeves. They cover their head with a colorful scarf as a turban and wrap another scarf below their waist. Mob men wear dhoti, kurta, pagri means turban and sometimes lungi. The Kuki men generally wear a cloth around the waist and cover their body above with a cord sheet, a designed scarf and a turban. There are many more stories to tell and experience to share. But as you know, while we propose, time disposes. Thus, we leave it to you to reveal the untold and share your stories with us. Before calling it a day, we request you to prepare yourself to unfold the untold stories by planning a trip to Agartala and hidden hamlets of Tripura, which are well connected to Agartala by road.
If you enjoyed our video, please like, share and subscribe our YouTube channel. Put your comments below. Hit the bell button. Follow us on Facebook and Instagram. Stay safe, stay healthy.
Namaskar.